Here's our next interview in the Get to Know Your City series. Rogers Historical Museum Director Serena Barnett is taking us on a tour. Hi everybody, we're here today at the Rogers Historical Museum, and I'm here today with Director Serena, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Rogers Museum. So, how long has the museum been here?
Well, we have been here for 47 years. It'll be 48 this year. Our birthday will be October 25th. And we were started back in 1974. Some local folks in Rogers got together and decided that they wanted a museum to keep all of their history and preserve it for the future. And so Councilwoman Opal Beck, she got the city council to vote to create a museum for their bicentennial historic project. And so that is the beginning of the museum. And they established a 9-person mission. And Vera Key was the very first chairwoman on that, and she's one of our co-founders. And well, one of the buildings we actually have here today named after her, the Key Wing, in honor of Miss Vera Key.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was going to ask you next. You have 3 different buildings.
Yes.
What are in each of those buildings?
All right, well, we have our Eversole Collections building. That is where we store all of the collections that we have here at the museum. We also have the Key Wing Education Center, where we have a research library, has some great information if you're looking for anything on genealogy or maybe dates on your house or anything to do with Rogers or local Benton County history. We've got a really good selection in our research library. And we also have our education classroom in the Key Wing. We have a historic house, the Hawkins House. It was built in 1895 on this site at the corner of 2nd and Cherry in downtown Rogers. And it was a middle-class family home that we actually today give guided tours through. We use objects from our collection that are from that time period, and you can walk through and learn about life in Rogers at the turn of the 20th century.
Awesome.
And then the building that we're in right now, the Haley Building, is where our collections are displayed in exhibits. And so you can come and you can learn all about Rogers history and also see special exhibits when we have them on show. And also, we have a children's play area that is right here. And we have another little play area in the Key Wing across the street that is set up like an old attic. We call it Grandma's attic. And so you can find all sorts of knickknacks from the past in there.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so what do you have in the museum that is the oldest?
Well, we have several things here. I couldn't just pick one, because we have so many cool things. So one of the things here we actually have on display is a silver teaspoon, which was probably from Eleanor Wilcoxon's family. She was Peter Van Winkle's first wife. Peter Van Winkle was a lumber baron back in the 1850s, pre-Civil War. And then even after the war, he helped rebuild the area that was devastated by the war. And so that spoon came from their family, and it is from around 1798.
Wow.
So
that is old.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that is, yeah.
Is. So we have a couple other things that I'll show you down at the Eversole building when we go.
Okay.
There's a coverlid and a Bible that I'll point out to you.
Well, let's go there next. So now, what building are we in?
We are now in the Eversole Collection Storage Building. This building houses the over 65,000 objects in the museum's collection. Everything from furniture to photographs to household objects, tools, you name it. We probably got something representative of that genre.
So how do you decide which ones you want to put on display?
Well, we look at our inventory list, and after we've picked a topic for our exhibit that we're going to develop, and we just see what fits best, because we have to look at the size of objects when we're trying to decide on what to display, as well as how well does the objects relate to each other and the story we're trying to tell.
Okay. So what's the oldest thing you have here?
The oldest thing we have in our collection is actually a spoon. It's from the Van Winkle family that we saw in the gallery earlier.
Right.
But then we also have a couple of old objects here. This family Bible is from 1795. This came from the Garrett family, and they came to Rogers and settled here. And there's still family that lives in this area that are descendants from the Garretts. And then this coverlet, this was made by a member of the Woods family. And the Woods family farm is where the Northwest Arkansas Community College is today. So we're very, very quite proud to have this in our collection.
Yeah. Okay, so what else do you have here? This looks pretty cute.
Well, these are some of our favorite objects. The museum staff a couple years ago did a exhibit on our favorite objects in the collection, and so these are a couple of things that we had on display. This here is our collection manager's favorite. It's a Humpty Dumpty doll from the 1940s, and a lot of people kind of don't know what to think about Mr. Humpty Dumpty here.
Cute,
but he is pretty cute. So I wanted to show you that to you today. And then we have a Super Nintendo entertainment system from the 1990s that
my boys had that.
This was our visitor's favorite object. We did a poll in the exhibit, and that is the object that won the favorite. So that is why that's here today. And I do have one other object I want to show you just down the aisle here. This is what I want to show you.
I know what that is.
What is that?
I want a perm. Give me a perm.
It is a permanent wave machine, and it is it's from the 1930s, and women used to sit under it in order to get those lovely waves in their hair. And this was one of our staff. She remembers her mother, who was a beautician, and she would actually do her hair when she was like 4 years old. She would have to sit under there and get her hair.
I just can't imagine doing that.
All right, we have an upcoming exhibit that's going to open on July 22nd called Toys Well Played, and it features toys from the Rogers Historical Museum collection that span from the 1890s all the way up to the early 2000s. And one of the toys that's going to be featured in that exhibit is this dollhouse. And this dollhouse is from the mid 20th century, and it was played with a family that belonged here in Rogers. So all these toys have a story, and you're going to have to come back to see the exhibit to learn what stories they have to tell.
Now, you mentioned on the walk over here that you're going to be doing a museum park. You want to tell me a little about that?
Museum Green. There is a plot of land that is currently the museum's apple orchard. But there is plans in place to actually create that into a bigger park area. And so we're working on the designs right now. I can't really tell you too much about it, but it is going to be coming here in the next couple of years. So
awesome.
Something to look forward to seeing.
Cool. Awesome. Is there anything else we need to know? Like, does it cost to come into the museum?
It does not. Since we are a city department, taxpayers actually fund the museum. And so we are free to everyone in our community. And so you're welcome to come. Our hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And you can come anytime. We're open and see everything and not have to pay anything.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us everything. This has been amazing. Okay, guys, that means you guys all got to come visit the Rogers Historical Museum.
Yes, and check out our website, rogershistoricalmuseum.org, for all the current exhibits and events and programs that we have going on.
Awesome. Okay, thanks. What an amazing place and what fun it was being able to go behind the scenes, and Serena has so much knowledge to share. My head is bursting with information. I can't wait to go back. Go to their website now and plan your visit.